Have you ever wondered in the middle of the night? Are the North Pole and the South Pole the same thing? Do they even have life? And are they of any real use? Welcome to Midnight Reflections, where curiosity never sleeps. Now let's find out. Where curiosity never sleeps. When we hear the North Pole or the South Pole, one image instantly pops into our heads: an endless white world. White ground, white mountains, and a cloudy white sky. In short, ice, snow, and freezing temperatures everywhere. And because they look so alike, many people think the poles are just identical twins. But the truth is completely different. The North Pole is one thing, and the South Pole is something else entirely. Both are covered in ice, yes, but they have dozens of differences. One of them is actually a frozen ocean, while the other is a massive landmass. One has human and animal life, while the other is almost empty. One has the ozone hole above it, the other doesn't. And even the temperatures are different. One is much colder than the other. Let's go back in history. The first recorded attempt to explore the North Pole was in 1827, led by the British officer William Parry. After that, things went quiet until the 1960s, when American explorer Ralph Plaisted reached it in 1968 using snowmobiles. Just a year later, British adventurer Wally Herbert also made the journey successfully. The South Pole, however, had a different story. Europeans and Americans tried many times to reach it. Among them was the famous Norwegian explorer Roald Amundsen and the British naval officer Robert Falcon Scott. Scott once came within just 600 kilometers, 370 miles, of the South Pole. But he couldn't continue because of the brutal conditions and lack of supplies. Still, he didn't give up. He tried again, and in 1911, he finally reached the South Pole. Sadly, his return journey ended in tragedy. Scott and his entire team died from starvation and freezing cold. Despite the hardships, these journeys opened our eyes to the poles. They revealed that it's not just a lot of ice, but two entirely different worlds with fascinating details. Here's a fun example: animals. If I asked you right now which two animals you immediately associate with the poles, you'd probably say the polar bear and the penguin. And many people think they live together in the same place, hunting fish side by side. But the truth? They've never even met. Penguins live in the South Pole, while polar bears live in the North Pole. And honestly, that's a good thing, because if they lived in the same region, penguins would have gone extinct a long time ago. Penguins can't fly, they can't defend themselves, and they're completely vulnerable. Imagine a giant bear surrounded by defenseless penguins. The end is obvious. So, whenever you see a cartoon or picture showing a polar bear next to a penguin, remember, that's pure imagination. So, how can we easily tell the difference between the poles? It's all about the terrain. The North Pole has no land. It's just a massive frozen ocean surrounded by land from the outside. The South Pole is the opposite, a huge landmass surrounded by ocean. That's why the South Pole counts as one of the 7 continents. It's called Antarctica. The North Pole? Just a frozen ocean, nothing more. As we said, both poles have ice and snow, but that doesn't prevent a very large difference in temperatures between them. The difference isn't 1 or 2 degrees, it's by the dozens. The South Pole is much, much colder than the North Pole. Why? The South Pole sits at a high elevation. Most of it lies above 3,000 meters. 3.0 kilometers, 1.86 miles above sea level. On top of that, it is covered with ice layers hundreds of meters thick, along with gigantic mountain ranges. The North Pole? No mountains, no thick ice sheets, and its level is very close to sea level. The result is clear. At the South Pole, temperatures reach minus 89 degrees Celsius, minus 128.2 degrees Fahrenheit. And even in summer, the warm time, temperatures never rise above minus 12 degrees Celsius, 10.4 degrees Fahrenheit. By contrast, the North Pole is a bit warmer. Its coldest times are about -40 degrees Celsius, -40 degrees Fahrenheit, and in summer, they can rise to -5 degrees Celsius, 23 degrees Fahrenheit. There is also a difference in weather. The South Pole receives heavy snowfall, while the North Pole rarely sees snow. That is exactly why life at the North Pole is far more abundant than at the South Pole. People actually live there. Inuit tribes coexist with the conditions naturally, and there are trees, plants, fish, birds, and wild animals. The South Pole, on the other hand, is almost empty of all that. And now comes the question, are the two poles actually important? The answer, absolutely. The poles play a vital role in stabilizing the Earth's atmosphere. They act as climate regulators, absorbing heat from hot regions and helping to moderate the global climate. But because of global warming, the ice has begun to shrink, and the climate has become less stable than before. Something we can see with our own eyes. But it doesn't stop at weather. There is a huge economic side, especially in the Arctic. The North Pole does not belong to a single country. Rather, it borders 5 countries: Russia, Canada, Norway, the United States, and Denmark. Each country claims the part closest to its borders and guards it very carefully. The question, why? It's all ice. What can they benefit from? The truth is, the benefit isn't from the ice above, but from what's hidden beneath. Estimates say the Arctic contains more than 62 trillion cubic meters of natural gas and around 10 billion tons of oil. That's why countries cling to it. Russia, for example, gets 11% of its national income from the Arctic alone. 90% of the nickel and cobalt it extracts come from the Arctic, 60% of the copper, and 96% of the platinum as well. In addition, almost a quarter of all Russia's exports come from Arctic resources. So, in short, the poles are not just frozen ice and snow, they are the beating heart of the planet when it comes to economy and climate. Now you know. Got more midnight questions? Drop them in the comments. Stay curious, and I'll see you in another Midnight Mystery.